Hi, and welcome to a Western States Alliance video on fog abatement. Western States Alliance is a fully dedicated website for fats, oils, and grease, or FOG, for pre-treatment professionals. It is a project of the Pollution Prevention Resource Center, PPRC, which receives grant money support from the USDA and EPA for this effort. This video shows how to test for fog and solids loading in a gravity grease interceptor, or GGI, to determine pump out frequency. Many fog programs require that a GGI be pumped out at a specific interval, such as every 30, 60, or 90 days. Some programs will allow for a variance of how often GGIs should be pumped out. Many programs use the 25% or similar percent rule to determine if the GGI needs to be pumped. A GGI can keep fog out of the conveyance line by letting the fog float to the top of the first compartment that receives wastewater from the kitchen. The fog naturally rises and solids drop to the bottom. The baffle pipe allows water from the first chamber to flow into a second chamber, where any solids or fog that make it past the first chamber settle out and float respectively. To estimate the volume of solids and fog in the interceptor, a clear plastic tube is inserted through the manhole cover and the measurement is observed. For a grease interceptor with an operating height of 48 inches, the 25% rule says that it is time to pump it out when the column tested contains 12 inches of combined fog and solids. Not all GGIs are the same size, so make sure to check what the 25% rule is for the GGI you are testing. In this video, the amount of fog and solids in a GGI that has operated for 90 days is being measured to see if it's time to pump it out. First, the tube is inserted into the inlet side of the GGI. The tool used in the video is a Core Taker Max by Raven. There are similar tools available in the market, and WSA does not recommend any specific product. This type of tool works by pushing the plastic tube down into the interceptor and turning it to penetrate to the bottom of the solids. The tool is capped to keep the column of fogged water and solids from draining. It is pulled up and you can measure approximately the fog layer on top and the solids buildup layer on the bottom. Note the cap doesn't seal perfectly and it will leak a bit, so you have to add about 1 to 2 inches to the estimation of total volume of fog plus solids. You can see that it is estimated to contain 4 inches of fog floating on the top and 6 inches of solids settled on the bottom, for a total of 10 inches. For this GGI, the total is less than 25% of its capacity. When measuring the amount of fog and solids in the tube, you will have a little compression when inserting the tube. It is a bit of an art to estimate how much compression you have, but typically you can add 1 to 2 inches to the total. Adding an inch for leakage and an inch for compression brings us to about 12 inches of solid plus fog. After taking the measurement, the contents are emptied back into the access hole. The tool is rinsed off and the outlet chamber is measured. The outlet chamber should have less buildup than the inlet side of the interceptor. The outlet has about 2 to 3 inches buildup of fog floating on the top, and solids at the bottom are about 4 inches for a total of 7 inches. This is about half of the inlet side. Since the GGI doesn't exceed the 25% threshold after 90 days of operation, it will be tested again after 120 days. Here you can see the retest of the GGI after 120 days of operation. The inlet chamber shows 10 to 12 inches of fog floating on top and 4 to 6 inches of solids settled at the bottom, for about 14 to 18 inches total. The outlet chamber is also tested. It shows 2 to 4 inches of fog at the top and 4 to 6 inches of solids, for 6 to 8 inches total, about half of the inlet chamber. In the case of this particular FSE, the testing shows that the GGI should be pumped out between 90 and 120 days. It was the inspector's determination that with the inlet side of the interceptor being at 25% of the GGI's capacity, any additional loading would be increased in the outlet chamber of the GGI, causing fog to accumulate at a faster rate and a reduced detention time. This video also shows that the substrate between the floating and settled layers was cloudy, indicating that there was not appropriate settling taking place and pass-through was occurring. It is less expensive for the FSE to pump 3 times per year every 120 days instead of 4 times per year every 90 days, and testing indicates that pump outs should occur somewhere between 90 and 120 days. Since this FSE had a history of not pumping as scheduled, it is located on a line that must be cleaned frequently, and it is not responsive to the pre-treatment regulators. It was decided that their pump out schedule was 90 days. FSEs need to understand that the GGI is intended to not only protect the municipality sewer system, but also will ensure an uninterrupted sewer service at the FSE's facility. A sewer backup in an FSE kitchen can cause health code violations, municipality charges for excessive line maintenance, premature deterioration of the grease removal devices, odor issues, or worse, a total shutdown of the facility until the issue can be remedied. To access technical resources, more fog videos, or to submit questions about fog and fog abatement, go to westernstatesalliance.org or the QR code at the end of this video.